All right, we have a bunch of new interesting cards today for you guys. Compliments of, well, the organization. If you guys don't know, there's a little countdown going on up here, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be something pretty impressive, at least from what I've been told. So just kind of something to look forward to in a couple of days, at least for that side of things. Just kind of pay attention to the countdown timer. I'm sure the organization would appreciate it if, you did check that out. Now, we have new Yabubus. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I saw April 1st. I was like, oh no, like, April Fool's jokes are here. Yay. And then I was like, wait a minute. No, these are Japanese logoed and everything. So, Yosenju Saburo Kaze, 1700 defense, 400. If you control another Yosenju card, when this card is normal summon, you can add a Yosenju Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. This is actually kind of something that we've needed for a little while. You know the pendulums that sit in the deck, the little towers that actually do stuff? We actually got support for them. It's only taken about 150 years for this to happen, but good. And then you can target one Yosenju card you control, place one... You can target one Yosenju card you control, place one dazzling or dizzying winds of Yosenju Village, or one Yosenju Whirlwind from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone. And if you do, return the selected card to your hand. So, this is actually really good because if you have that pendulum scale, you can just place it and then use this guy's effect to rotate that pendulum scale back to your hand. And then you get to search for the dizzying winds or the Yosenju Whirlwind. Actually, which is really good. And then once returned during the end phase, if this card was normal summoned, you get to return this card to your hand. Actually, this is probably one of the better Yosenju cards I've seen in a while. In terms of old generalized support that the deck had going for it, we needed things that could bring the pieces together. And I think this card does just a fantastic job of that. Standard Beast Warrior, searchable off Tenki, standard 1700. With Tenki, you get a boosted to 1800, and he's also level 4 wins. So I mean, Chidori, but good first card. I appreciate this one for the most part. Now we have another Yabubu down here. Okay, Yosenju Izunu Muchi. This is 800 1200. Now I can already tell in terms of standardized stats, this might not stand at a super large number, and people might be discouraged by stats like that, but that is the thing. So you can discard this card. During this turn, your opponent cannot target cards and effects cannot activate when a Yosenju monster is normal or special summoned. Okay. Wow, we actually just got a fucking discard to make sure my cards are able to resolve Yosenju. Alright. First up, we've seen... I hate effects like this, but they're good for archetypes that need stuff like this. I can definitely tell you when I played against Shiranuis and they had that shit that stops you from being able to negate their summons, and it's really powerful. And then if you control another Yosenju monster, you can activate this effect, draw a card. Wow, they built draw power into Yosenjus. I didn't really want that in my life. And then standard once returned during the end phase of this card was normal summon, return it to your hand. Still, they all have the same standardized weakness, which kind of sucks. Like, they all go back into the hand, and I mean, that's fine. But this guy's actually pretty good. The fact that he has draw power built into himself, the fact that we can now tutorably discard this card and stop our opponent from being able to interact with our summons, it's not too damn bad. I think for an overall like support card though for Yosenjus, was this really needed? The draw power I feel was needed, but still kind of think with like all this summoning that this deck is supposed to be doing, that like I don't know, it just kind of feels a little bit bareback. Alright, we've got a new pendulum actually here. Yosenju Hitosumuraji. Okay, so this thing is 2,000, 3,000. Pendulum scale 3, and we can in fact search this off of the new Yosenju. So, pendulum effect. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn each. Okay, so target one Yosenju card in your pendulum zone until the end of this turn. Its pendulum scale becomes 11, but you cannot pendulum monsters except for Yosenju cards. Interesting clause there. During your end phase, return this card to your hand. Wow, so we actually have a pendulum that maintains the exact same clause as the others. Okay. Monster effects. This card cannot be special summoned except by pendulum summoning. Alright, cool. So they made Super Fatty have conditional stuff. Okay, so that's fine. This card is normal or special summon. You target one card your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. That's kind of underwhelming for a fucking 2,000, 3,000. Each time another card is returned to the hand by the effect of a card you control, all Yosenju monsters you control will gain 500 attack. Alright, that's pretty big, actually. Being able to unload 2 to 3 Yosenjus and get a blanketing 1,500 on top of them, because it also includes himself, I believe. My Yosenju. Actually, yeah. This does have Yosenju in the name, so yes, this will get the blanketing power. And then, once per turn during the end phase, this card was special summoned. This turn, return it to the hand. So overall, like, there's a lot here on this guy. The fact that you can change another Yosenju card to a much higher scale is pretty good. I do like how they limited this within the card text of itself to not be abusable. That's really good, but the can't special summon it besides pendulum summoning seems a little bit too constrictive, if that makes sense. I get what they were trying to do with this card, don't get me wrong, but it's like maybe you were a little bit too limiting in it. But once again, I mean, Yosenjus, you don't want them to be able to abuse the extra deck. Like, they're not really an abuse extra deck thing, except for, you know, pendulum summoning, as you would kind of want to do in the deck. And then last but not least for the new Yosenju cards is the Yosenju Wind Ritual. Okay, this is a quick play. You can activate a card with this card's name only once per turn. So if you control 3 or more Yosenju monster cards with different names, return all Yosenju monsters or cards you control to your hand, and then draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. So this is terrible, actually. I have to activate it when I control 3 or more. I have to return all of those Yosenju monsters to my hand just to be able to draw until I have 5 cards. So, best case scenario, you summon 3 Yosenjus. You activate this, you return the 3 to your hand, and you get to draw 2 cards. Now, the good thing is here, this is good because when you unload your hand, you're like, go, 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 Yosenjus. Alright, so you put all your guys on the board, and then you go end phase before they trigger back to the hand. Then you play this to return those to your hand, and then get to draw cards. We've kind of... end phase draw cards aren't that good in the grand scheme of things. I know Konami seems to think this to be the case because they did this with plants as well. They gave them that plant draw card that was good, but then you just have the whole archetype that just is kind of like, but why is this here? You know what I mean? So once again, for the most part, this just kind of feels lackluster for the archetype. Like, yeah, cool, Yosenju's got draw power. Fantastic, but this isn't the level of draw power that I would want. Does that make sense? Now, we have one other stray card that got announced yesterday. It's the World Legacy choice. Now, I know, in terms of lore, this is pretty interesting because now the World Legacy monsters are being forced to make a decision. It kind of looks like it's a baby or she's holding some sort of light. I'm curious there, actually, what's going on in terms of that. But the new card says normal trap card. Oh boy, it's my favorite. You can activate only one card with this name's effect once per turn. So you can activate one of these effects. You can send to the graveyard one link monster your opponent controls. Alright, well that's not bad, actually. Having a chainable trap card that I can blink a link monster on my opponent's field is pretty good. Or I can banish 7 World Legacy cards from my graveyard to add to your hand 1 Cyberse monster from your deck. When the hell am I ever going to have 7 World Legacy cards able to be banished? Whatever. This is ugh, interesting. Whatever. Well, guys, what do you think about the new Yosenju cards? I think these are pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from these new cards. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about the new cards. And, well, guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanco40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.